What's going on today, guys? It is Nick here from the BI Edge. So, what I've done today is I've gone into the AEMO website, so the Australian Electricity Market Operator. And what I've done is I've retrieved a bunch of different connection flow data sets in the form of CSV from the years 2018, start at 2018 to the end of 2024. Now, what I'm hoping to achieve through this analysis is I'm hoping to have a look at all the different flow or the total flow rate through all the different sort of facilities across the country, so I can see where the flow is a little bit higher on what particular pipelines across Australia in the form of gas. And basically, to do this, because we're working with big data here, we're working with close to 1 million rows. What I've done is I've created a SQL server, SQL server sort of developer edition. It's kind of a free version, and I've stored all the data on here. I've uploaded from manually to start off with from the AEMO website, and then I've connected all the data sets together. Hope you enjoy this video today. Right, guys, here we are in my SQL server. So as you can see here, we've got databases here on the left-hand side. We've got the database name. So that's the AEMO Energy Security Database. Okay, I've expanded the tables here. And with the tables here, I've got all these different tables. So these are all CSVs that have been extracted from the AEMO website under the gas markets tab. So it's all the different pipeline connection flows from 2018 here down to 24. What I did was I did a SQL query to connect the pipeline connection flows to create a master, which is down here. Okay. And then what I did was I wrote another SQL query to develop the new pipeline flow summary table here. Okay. So I'll just show you quickly like how this sort of looks. So, I'll go select top 1000 rows here. So you can see the big one here. That's sort of the layout here of the data set. And then once I did this one here, I sort of cut it out a little bit. And you can sort of see here that I've just got the average flow rate and the total flow rate here. Okay. So now if I want to sort of look at, because basically what I've done here, I've got a master data set down here. So that's the one with 1 million rows or whatever it is. Here, this is the pipeline flow summary, which is what I'm in at the moment here. So this will tell me the average flow rate for each facility name here, and the total flow rate since inception. Okay, so that's from between January 2018 to December 2024. The average flow rate for Port Campbell to Iona Pipeline was 11.76, and then you can see the total volume there. We can see that that is 800 or 87,718, I think there. I think that's a dot. So yeah, you can sort of have a bit of a look through that, and that sort of gives you a bit of an idea as to where that's sort of ranked there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write a new SQL query. Okay, so to do that, I just go new query up here. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to know, you know, who had, the largest kind of average flow rates within this particular period across all the different facility names. So to do this, I would go in here and I would go select, I'd go top, and then we'd go 20. Okay, and then here I would go facility name, the facility name. Okay, so facility, so name is a cap. So you always got to make sure you're really nailing it when you're getting your queries in. Okay, and then down here, I would go for sum. Okay, right, so I want sum. So I want top 20 for the facility names because I want to know what are the top 20 producing facilities in the country throughout this period. I'm going to go, I want to sum the average underscore flow underscore rate. Okay. And then um, from there, I want to do that as total average flow rate. That's what we're going to call it. Okay. And then we're going to go from, so uh, where are we getting this data from? We're getting it from the AEMO Energy Security database. And then we are getting it from the data table, which is the .dbo. Um, and that's going to be here as well, like this. So DBO, okay, dot, and then we're going to go new pipeline summary. So that would be like this, new pipeline flow summary. Okay, so that's this table here. So it's from this database. New pipeline flow summary here is the table of the database. Okay, and now what I have to do is I have to use group by. Okay, so we're getting into more intermediate SQL now. So group by, we're going to go facility name. Yep, so that's that one there. And then we're going to go down to order by, and this is the total average flow rates. Okay. And then what we want to do here is we want to make this descending. Okay. This has got to be descending here. Okay. All right. So this looks pretty good to go now. Going to run. Okay, cool. So now we can see, okay, total average flow rate here. Okay, so what was the average flow rate? What we've just calculated. What's the average flow rate per facility um, on a day-to-day basis um, throughout from January 2018 to December 2024. Okay. And I've got the top 20 here. So I can look through and go, okay, on average, these particular facilities have the highest flow rate in the country. Okay. Gas. So I know that's Fairview there. So that's in Queensland. Longford gas plant, I'm not sure. Wallumbilla to Gladstone pipeline. Okay, that's Wallumbilla is just outside Roma. Western Queensland up to Gladstone, which is sort of just sort of south of Rockhampton, sort of around that sort of Bundaberg type region as well. GLNG gas transmission pipeline, AP LNG pipeline, Comet Ridge to Wallumbilla pipeline, etc. Okay, Darling Downs pipeline. So a lot of these northern gas pipelines, a lot of these pipelines here that I can see straight away are actually in Queensland. So that's interesting. You know, our flow rates are quite high in Queensland. So that a lot of the projects in Queensland, I think, you know, they flow down these pipelines up to Gladstone and sort of off to Curtis Island, and then they get shipped off to the export, or they get exported to players in the Asian market, such as, you know, places like Korea, for example, or South Korea, that have long-term Australian gas contracts. So that's that. Okay. Now, what I've done with this database next is I've actually connected it to Power BI. So I'm going to bring across my Power BI desktop next. Okay. And what we're going to have a look at here is we're just going to have a look. Okay, so you can see here that the new pipeline flow summary, I've just connected this straight in through my SQL Server straight in here. Okay, and what we can have a look at here now is the total flow volume by facility name. So we're looking at essentially the same data here. We're just looking at it in a visually more appealing, aesthetic way in which you can generate a story. Okay, so the total flow volume or flow rate by from 2018 to 24, the gas, the largest was the AP LNG pipeline, followed by Wallumbilla to Gladstone GLNG gas transmission pipeline. Okay, so this is just the total amount throughout this period that has flowed through these pipelines. Down here, I've got this for the average daily flow volume. If I want to look down here, this just matches exactly what I just had in my SQL server before. Fairview, average daily flow rate, 408, Longford Gas, 288, Wallumbilla to Gladstone, 222, GLNG gas transmission pipeline, 182, APLNG, 153. Okay, and I can go back down here, have a look at some of the smaller players and so forth. Okay, so if we have a look here at APLNG, they're they produce the most, but their average daily flow rate was lower than some of the other players, such as these guys here, for example. So, some produced more than others, but some had a higher average daily flow rate there. Okay, so that's just something that we can sort of look into there. Eastern Gas pipeline 26, quite low there, but in terms of flow rate, but the overall was quite up. So basically, what I would be looking into next as an analyst is I would be looking into, okay, why was that and what years were was that in? So basically now what I would need to do is go back into my SQL server, query again, get all the years and have a look year by year. What were the changes across these different pipelines to determine changes within this particular industry? Thanks for tuning in today, guys, and I look forward to catching you in the next video. Cheers.